Question is that the bill be now read a second time. Professor Hoon, Hian, Teck.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this bill seeks to make an amendment that would exclude any payment made to the International Development Association, IDA, that is not in the nature of a subscription. Furthermore, a new subsection is added to make provision for the maximum amount of any additional subscription to be specified and to be authorized by a separate resolution of Parliament. As has been pointed out in this House by Second Minister for Finance, Ms. Indrani Raja, in November 2019, since Singapore joined the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, a major institution of the World Bank Group that makes loans to developing countries, in 1966, it has received 12 loans to support various infrastructure projects. The last loan was signed in 1975. This means that for a decade after Singapore became fully independent, our country benefited from external loans that supported our journey on the path of economic development. Economists have grappled with the question of what it takes to make a poor country become rich. They do not have a fully satisfactory answer. While alleviating the problem of poverty in developing countries is such an important task, the approach to achieving it is still not so well understood. While we know the proximate causes of economic growth in the sense that a higher standard of living can be explained by a higher level of applied technology and higher level of human capital and physical capital per worker, less is known about the fundamental causes of economic growth. What are the underlying reasons why some countries are unable or unwilling to invest in capital and technology? Despite our limited knowledge, we do have many examples of countries that have experienced growth takeoffs that raise the quality of life for their citizens. Our own experience, the Singapore experience, suggests that when political and economic institutions are set up that support an integration with the global economy to facilitate the transfer of technology, we achieve a growth takeoff. Along the growth path, the extension of external loans to finance infrastructural projects enables the country to overcome capital market constraints, especially when the investment is lumpy. Singapore's subscription to the IDA as a donor country allows us to contribute to a global fund that can potentially enable other countries to get onto a path of economic development, just as Singapore did. There is a wide gap in the standard of living between poor and rich countries. Some economists have argued that geography plays a big part in explaining why some countries remain poor despite the availability of frontier technology that can be tapped for growth. Unfavorable soil conditions may make it hard to develop agriculture, for example. And many countries tend to have to develop the agriculture first before manufacturing can become an increasing share of their GDP. For such countries, a lack of navigable rivers and poor access to sea transport may also make it difficult for them to effectively make use of their factors of production. Communities might also be disadvantaged economically when climatic conditions lead to widespread diseases such as malaria and dengue fever that affect a large proportion of the labor force. For them, therefore, concessional loans can be made available through the IDA to finance large-scale investments in transport infrastructure and disease eradication to partially overcome these geographical disadvantages. I think that Singapore can make a meaningful contribution to this global effort. Mr. Speaker, sir, I support this bill.